This is Debbie, and welcome to my Offbeat journey to becoming a full-time location-independent freelancer. I'll be sharing my tips and tricks as well as the realities of this offbeat lifestyle. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of my Offbeat journey. This month, we're going to be talking about the importance of rest and delegation, the two things that I have come to really appreciate this year especially. Now, for many years, I've placed such a huge weight on my shoulder of always being on the go, always hustling, and the idea of resting and taking time off has been really foreign to me. But this year has forced me to do it. Otherwise, I would just go insane, and you most likely know exactly what I mean. With everything that's been happening and with the changes that I've been making with my business, there's been times that I just needed the time to rest. In the beginning, there was definite guilt, but after a while, I became really comfortable with it. And sometimes maybe a little too comfortable because I did too many hours watching Netflix this whole year. And it's really interesting how I am more aware of the hustle when I'm in New York. You all know I went down south for a few months and then came back to New York City. And it's been pretty more evident that the hustle is definitely more when I'm up here in New York and I guess generally in the United States. I remember going back to the Philippines a few years ago and being reintroduced to siesta, which means everybody took a break around noontime every day and my family just took naps. You know, it was really hot. You couldn't go to work. Most of their work was outside, so it was just too hot to do anything. I couldn't understand this concept because I had so much energy to burn. I tried to make everyone around me do something because I was bored or I just felt useless when I didn't do anything. I mean, come on, a nap in the middle of the day, that seems a little ridiculous to me at that time. But as the weeks went on, I began to embrace the concept of siesta and realized how much my body needed and appreciated it. And I also had more energy after I took that time of rest every single day. So this year, I began to appreciate rest and how my body was absolutely craving it. Now, thank goodness I already had systems in place and had a whole team behind me who were able to do the tasks that I needed to get done to run my business without me always being there. As you all know, I haven't skipped an episode with my podcast yet. There is always an episode for you every single week. There's 2 of them. And if I didn't have my team around me, that would not be possible. So rest and delegation was definitely crucial for me this year. And now if you're also thinking about delegating, there will most likely be some fears that you're going to face. I know because I had them too in the beginning. A few that I often hear about from other entrepreneurs is the first one, fear that the task will not be perfect enough. The second one is fear of failing and letting your clients down. And the third is fear of not knowing how to train and find the right help. Now, I hear the 3 of these fears come up in conversation a lot when I speak to other entrepreneurs. And although these are really valid points, they're also very solvable, right? No one obviously is going to do the tasks exactly like you, but they can come very close or even do a better job than you. One of the things that I like to do when I hire people is hire someone that is either one, very trainable, they are able to get feedback easily, they don't take offense, and they're willing to learn and also think outside of the box and also work independently. And the second thing that I like to do is hire someone that actually will do the task better than I would. I love hiring people who will do a better work than me, because that means that it's going to be even better than what I thought it would be. Uh, and in terms of failing and letting your clients down, I really want you to accept that there will be times that there's going to be mistakes when you first start, especially when you're just hiring someone. And even you yourself, you're going to make mistakes when you're training them. And you cannot always please everyone, right? And you'll only get better as time passes by. You learn from those setbacks and mistakes. So that's really one of the things that we on our own need to learn, right? You're not going to start out perfect when you're hiring somebody. Also, maybe your clients won't be happy all the time, but as long as you make that right, as long as you do what's right, it'll be okay, right? Training gets better over time, and you will find the best techniques for you and the person that you are training. Some people just learn differently. Maybe your technique is not informative enough or not the way they learn. So you really have to understand how to do that and how your communication skills has to be better. What to me is worse than all of these fears is actually burning out and being a slave to your business that won't allow you to do anything, because you have no time for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your personal life, and you are just in your job and not do anything else. One of the reasons why I decided to start a business and also be a freelancer is because I wanted more time for myself and to have more freedom. If you are not able to leave your job because there's just so many tasks and you're not able to delegate, not only will you burn out, but you also won't be able to enjoy your life. And most likely, you're going to end up quitting and going back to your 9 to 5. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but if that's not where you wanted to be, you have to learn how to make it more sustainable, and delegation is one of the number one ways that you can do that, right? Now, I understand that in the beginning you may not be able to afford it, and you have to learn all the tasks. I always recommend people to learn most or all of the tasks that needs to be done, unless obviously it's something that you really can't do, like maybe coding or things like that. You could obviously learn it, but if you're just not comfortable doing that, that's fine. But I always recommend that you learn the tasks yourself, and then make income from that. And once you're starting to make a little bit of income, you understand what the tasks needs to be done, then you can start outsourcing and hiring other people out. Now, one of the big reasons why I always tell people to learn the tasks before they outsource it is, God forbid something happens and that person is gone and you need to do something right away, you will be able to do it yourself. Another reason is, when you're hiring, you will understand what type of skills they need to know and understand. And if you know how to do that job, you'll know the exact person to hire, because you know if their skills are good or not. So that's something really important to remember. Now, I do have to say, because of the power of delegation, I was able to offer service-based businesses this year that has allowed me to create new revenue streams for my business without being burnt out, because my team is doing about 60 to 70% of the work for me. As you all know, this year cut out a lot of our revenue streams, especially if you're in the travel industry. So I had to deal with that, because most of my clients, I worked with sponsorships who were in the travel industry. So about 70 to 80% of my revenue was actually cut. But because of delegation, I was able to offer services to other entrepreneurs, and we were able to create income, and I didn't have to let go of anyone in my team because of that. So I'm really thankful for that. Now, when I first offered these new services, I was able to land almost 5 figures within 2.5 weeks of starting. So if you think service-based businesses can't be scaled, I completely disagree. It can be if you have a whole team behind you. Now, if you're doing it on your own, I agree with that. You're going to be burned out. You're not going to be able to do everything yourself. But if you have a whole team behind you, you're not doing everything yourself, and you're either just managing and checking work and that's all you're doing, then it can be done. And later on, you can even hire a manager to do that as well. So it is doable. It can be scaled as long as you have a team and you have the right systems in place. So yes, this year has been a challenge, but it has also made me better and allowed me to reevaluate my business model to make it stronger and also create different streams of revenue. And you're going to hear this a lot from me, and I'm sure you've heard it from a lot of entrepreneurs as well. And you probably have faced this, especially this year, that you can't just rely on one stream of revenue because something may happen, you may lose it. So you have to think outside of the box. Now, if you only have one stream of revenue, I highly recommend thinking of another stream of revenue, because not only will that allow you to really be prepared if anything happens, but it's always good to have something that can really add to your business as well. So now let me ask you this. Are you ready to start delegating the work that you have that you don't need to be in, right? There's a lot of menial work that we take care of that we don't really need to be there, right? I say this as you think about the task, right? I want you to write it down. I want you to write down the task that you are currently doing and evaluate if you really need to be there, right? Think about what you cost per hour. Are those menial tasks worth $10 an hour, but you're worth $200 to $500 an hour? If you're worth $500 an hour, why are you doing $10 an hour work, right? Think about that, list that down, and see where you can start hiring out. If you can't afford it yet, start thinking about that strategy now. And once you start creating that income, then absolutely start delegating those menial work, right? And a lot of the fears as well is, and I didn't list this before as one of the list, is a lot of people think that if they take money from their business to hire somebody out, they're not making income. That is the wrong way to think about it. Think about it in a way that if you actually hire out those menial jobs, are you actually freeing more time for yourself so that you can start getting better clients, maybe strategizing your business so you can make more money? And by doing that, you're also going to be making more money when you hire out the tasks that you really don't need to be there. So by hiring someone, you're actually going to be making more money, maybe even tripling your revenue or more. So that's one thing that I really want you to think about, right? So if you are ready to start delegating, and if you answered yes when I asked if you're ready to delegate and need help with the process or want to hire somebody to help you, my team and I can help, right? Whether to coach you with the process and or providing you with the services you need, my team and I can do it. So if you are at that point where you're ready to take the next step, I want you to send me a message at collab, COLLAB, at theoffbeatlife.com and let me know how I can help you in the process. Thank you for listening today, and I hope I can help you transition and create more freedom through the art of delegation and also help you create more income. I want you to contact me again at collab@theoffbeatlife.com because I want to get you to that next stage in your business. And I know you probably have a lot of fears right now. I want to tackle that down and get you started. So until next time, friends, I hope you have a great day and I will talk to you again next time. Hey friend, have you been wanting to start a podcast? I know it can be overwhelming in the beginning. Believe me, I have been there. Lucky for you, we have created a new site called howtocreateapodcast.com that shares a ton of freebies that can help you get started. From launching, growing to monetizing, we share it all in one place. Visit howtocreateapodcast.com for more information. Hey Offbeat family, I really appreciate you listening to this episode. I would love to hear more from you and what you think of the podcast. Suggestions on guests, topics we can discuss, or maybe you just want to be friends. Why don't we chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life or send me a message at hello@theoffbeatlife.com. I can't wait to hear from you.